everyone, this is Wolf. Today we are back. Challenge Survival. In the time lapse shown earlier, I, by hand, drilled out this space. Yes, I know, not the best way of doing it, but I got it done. I had time to kill. So, you can also see the green lines that I've drawn showing a rough approximation of where the center is. This is where we're going to begin our drill rig. Going to fill up most of the space, and we are then going to start it. So the first step today is going to be extending the conveyor system. Get that part started. Require a little bit more drilling, but that's not going to be. Drop some steel plates there. Need to be more careful. Now, or normally, if this were a spaceship, I would probably use a different method for. Um, but since this is going to be just mostly a quarter right now, I'm not going to have any there too. Sure, it's going to look less than ideal, but be functional. Right now, that's then I can always hide this, pipe this up, and hide it in the back. Oops. It was bound to happen eventually. Let's lay down and pick it up. As you just saw, I also threw a bunch of stuff in the construction, or into the assembler for building the pipes. Plenty of motors. The other things I'm slightly concerned. Why I'm just planning ahead. And if in the event I need to go get more motors, make them because there's just go out there, pick up whatever I need. I can't. I only drilled out about 8 blocks worth of space down. I'm going to go empty away a bit more. It'll look a little unsightly. How much of a pistons will be approximately 5 blocks tall. The drill is that. There's the rotor, so it's gonna be a bit of a squeeze. I went too far. Also been debating what I normally I name my bases after I've started using green. I'm considering a green. Definitely open to. Maybe it's something as the base progresses further that I might. A little bit of feedback on what. Got our conveyor tubes in place. Let's weld these real fast. Jump ahead. Alright, and with that, we have our conveyor tube. Now, the next thing to get put in here is piston. There's a number of different ways that you can build a piston rig. Method I prefer alternate between pistons and conveyor tube is, in a word, a bit expansive, but it does it fairly. Grab all the stuff that we're going to need and put that on. Place our first piston. Now, cool thing that we can do with this ceiling, now that we have created a subgrid, we can actually, as the pistons move down, we won't have to keep drilling out, carving out what we're about to do, is remove sections of ceiling in order to place the upper part there too. I'm also going to, even though it's not the most resource efficient, weld up parts of this, especially the parts that will get. Next, you place your air tube. It can really go anyway, but I'm going to start it going direction opposite of that. That was dumb. Reason being is that it's going to have to the piston and then these. These two armor blocks will have to be away, and a little bit of stone will have to be. Not the end of the world. This will be replaced later on. Cool thing is that I can now subgrid safely place stone. Curve. And then the piston goes right. Hold up. Got dump some inventory plates into. Tricky part with these is, but that should be doable. Then just go in direction 9 in up. Another pair of armor blocks. Put in another piston, and the pattern continues. The idea here is to compress the drill rig as much as possible in the least amount of space. Sure, there's other designs that can be larger and much less potential inducing, but they also take up a lot more space. With drill rigs, especially drill this, it's always a space versus functionality. That very, very careful line that you have to draw. Oops. Build an armor. Now, the very cool thing with a the cool thing with a very large drill rig like this, that no matter what, it's always going to be extending down. It's probably never going to be retracted. So it's done doing its job, and then it'll be disassembled. So all of this up here is going to be temporary. All the stuff that's happening up here. Eventually, I damaged that when I was drilling out. Oops. Everything that's up here is temporary. Now, we're not quite high enough in order to cross back over this way. What we're instead going to do is spiral in the opposite direction. Plates in that direction. Two. Almost to the point where the amount that's been drilled out with placing the ceiling is almost not necessary. I'm still doing it as a matter of course. And for now, before I bury too much of this, I'm going to have to go through and weld. So let me jump ahead until I've gotten that done. All right, made some good progress here. 7, 8, 9, 10 pistons. These 10 pistons will extend roughly 100 meters down. Making good progress so far. I think I am going to have to partially drill. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit rest as this. The 8 blocks I've drilled. Okay, not the end of the. I'm also going to need to make a little arm that lines up back with the center in order for it to make it spin on its proper axis. Normally that wouldn't be a big issue. Starting a drill in the center and we're working outward. I'd started at the edge and worked my way inward, it also wouldn't have been a big deal. It just would have been a little bit more logistically planning intensive, and frankly, I just right now I'm going with a switchback design instead of a rotary design. MO. Pistons are going to continue, bears are going to continue around, and the switchback design, creating a cavity of sorts, back and forth, back and forth. 100 meters of extension is frankly not enough. By my best estimates, I'm actually going. This particular position is already 80 meters ground. The silicon is roughly 25. At this point, magnesium, which is very most likely here, is a down. I think if I were to do this in 250-meter increments or 25 piston increments, probably be the most effective way, but I'm going to have to make sure it fits within my fairly strict space requirement. I'm going to go paint those on the ceiling so I can remind myself that's something to do. Make it a much. All right, now I've gone ahead and fixed that oversight. So this is how big of a space I have pistons in. I think I shouldn't have too much difficulty fitting 25 pistons in space. And the drills will extend out that far. Well, in order to. This is why I chose such a large space under. And I drilled out just big. I did not know exactly how big I would be able to. The coring assembly that I will be building. I might be able to build it bigger. I might put more drills on it. That really is an unknown at the moment. But for now, this is roughly how big I'm expecting it to be. Might be bigger, might be smaller. Cannot exactly. I can say, however, for the first bit of it, I am. There we go. That's much better. I am going to quite simply be using right-click mining while the drills are going and the rotor is spinning and the pistons extend downward in order to clear off a trench until I've reached the very bottom of silicon deposit. I really don't need, at least not the several million, if not tens of millions of silicon ore that I will be getting from this particular boring project. Instead, what I'm more than likely to get is just a huge amount of bloat that I don't need. Pouring through it, probably my best course of action. I can then build my base inside the silicon deposit and make it. But after I get past the silicon deposit and I get down to the stone underneath and I can process the stone. The iron and nickel that I will get from it will be totally worthwhile. Let's get to finishing the drill rig, or at least the piston assembly. All right, everyone. This is the completed drill. Got a little distracted with everything, and I just went into autopilot mode and continued assembling it, even though I finished the piston component. The pistons, there are 24 pistons of 240 meters. Drills allow it to spin and fill space. Should mostly core out a good amount of space. Perhaps this may be just for the first round. I may need to take a little shave off of the side, but I do not really anticipate having to. One thing I do anticipate having to do is put a cockpit on here. Vector. A couple more pieces of technology I'm going to have to. But apart from that, this whole assembly is ready to go once it's finished up. So I'm going to get hydrogen, and then I will start tackling this. So looking forward to that. Okay, that was thing. Game may have just booted me. Probably pushed my computer a bit too. Not overheating. We're making good progress on this, and ultimately this is the goal that I had for today. To get this drill rig done. I'm probably not going to do much more than turn it on to make sure it. Apart from that, it's already in a pretty good. I only really lost the last. Do something slightly curious. But as the drills get completed, I'm going to turn them on so some stone starts getting added into the refinery. Small amount, but I'm down to just a few thousand iron. The project has. That is. Don't think I'll really be able to build much until operational be. That's a fairly limiting factor. May just. I'll core. I will use right click. This is going to be expensive. This project has been very, very expensive. Finally, it will be all worth it. Rig will provide me with more. Only things that I really truly need to find are silver, gold. That's work. Put a cockpit on. I'm not going to do anything special. It is just going to be a run-of-the-mill. Computers. I'm going to put a couple of those on here as well. So, first, we need anything else. I'll block. This one's going off. Rotor lock on. Drills off. Advanced rotor. This is the really important. Advanced rotor has to spin very, very, very. And with two drill rigs, I'm going to put it spinning at about 0. RPM. Okay. Currently locked. Pistons, on the other hand, velocity is going off. Get that. 0.001 or 2. I'm going to go with 2 initially since I will be right. Now, we switch to third person spectator cam. Right click mine. Area. Then we rotor lock with 6. Spinning. I'm mostly testing this right now just to check the clear. I want to make sure this thing is going to fit. If I have to remove a drill from either, won't be the end of the world, but it's not. But it's working. It is working. May need to put a couple of scopes on this. Set them to over. There is a lot of wobbling. That's actually the reason why I put the conveyor junction on there, is so I could mount the gyroscopes central point. I don't have to actually put drill booms. That will that would be a bit unnecessary. Conveyor junction provides the. Don't see any other problems or any particular issues. Perfect. It is. All right. I might even be able to add a drill. No, it's close enough to that wall that I think this is going to be large. I'm already going to get. Oh. Plenty large. Quarter lock and turn. Let's look at it. Nice. Side. Oh, yeah. Pouring will not be done. Look at our battery. Battery charged in 3 hours. So I don't really need to worry about adding yet. I build the main base and work down. Something I'll probably do in next episode. Turbines will be absolutely essential. That's all, and I'll see everybody next time. And Wolf.